Hi, I'm Christina Augustin, founder of Southern Sky AI. Steering deliberately into disruption is a 30-minute field briefing on AI for the superyacht and broader maritime industries. This year, I've delivered this presentation to a few hundred industry leaders internationally, in Australia and the United States, and the feedback has been very positive. Many who couldn't attend have asked for more information, so I've recorded it here to share it with you as well.
What is going on? I don't know about you, but the speed that AI is infiltrating our lives is keeping me up at night. Online, we're seeing videos of toddlers being stolen away by alligators on a family's front porch, cats driving cars, or worse, the dark side of deepfakes imitating public figures. Or worse again, you. In major cities around the world, we have self-driving Ubers, and in less democratic countries, constant personal surveillance recording your image and activities on any given street on any given day. We're worried about how much all this will cost in energy use, or perhaps it will cost us our jobs. I believe that we're in a collective societal crisis where we are all grappling with what these new technologies mean for us, our norms, our morals, and things we protect like education, intellectual property, the environment, our livelihoods, our children, and the equitable distribution of wealth. Artificial intelligence represents one of the most profound societal shifts that we'll witness in our lifetimes. Sundar Pichai, Google's CEO, believes it's potentially more transformative than electricity or fire, what industry leaders are calling a fourth industrial revolution. And it's coming at us fast. I attended a discussion with Chris Lehane, policy officer at OpenAI, who said that this upheaval is less likely to happen over 10 years and more likely to happen within 5. It took the internet 10 years to get to where generative AI got to in only 2. And if you also notice the billions in investment fueling these technologies in the US and China, it can make any observer feel that we are somehow amidst a global race of intelligence. In the US, in July 2025, President Trump released a strategic action plan stating, "America is going to win it. It's not artificial, it's genius." In January, Biden's AI policies were revoked with an executive order to encourage innovation, accelerate approval processes for AI projects, and frame American AI leadership as a strategic national imperative. The EU last year passed the world's first AI law, which imposes safeguards on the builders of AI models to protect EU citizens by ensuring that applications deemed to be higher risk include heavier human oversight. In October, in Australia, national AI policy guidelines were released to push businesses forward toward adoption, a big move from our previous risk-averse policies. As some of you may know, I've spent 20 years in the international superyacht industry, my first decade as crew, my second decade in large yacht operations, legal and management. I'm a qualified Australian lawyer and fleet business consultant, navigating contracts, insurance, regulations, relationships, and I hope, common sense, to achieve the highest industry standards and outcomes. 6 years ago, I relocated back to Australia after 10 years in the US and started a digital agency focused on web development. From here, I was uniquely positioned to see the transformative wave of AI coming. I dove headfirst into understanding AI from the inside out, pursuing a master's in AI, completing executive education at UC Berkeley, becoming an AWS AI practitioner and a certified CPD AI trainer and certified AI consultant. I'm passionate about working at the intersection of the superyacht industry, law, and technology, helping bridge the gap between industry expertise and AI capability. I founded Southern Sky AI to support superyacht and maritime industry businesses and the broader maritime sector to understand and make good strategic decisions about AI, how and what to implement, and how to steer deliberately into this disruption. My goal today is to help you do the same by covering 4 things. 1, how we got here and what are these technologies anyway, because to know what you can do with it, you need to have a basic picture of how it works. 2, use cases from the broader maritime sector as well as AI applications for each of our industry subsectors to consider, along with general business applications. 3, considerations, security, responsible AI practices, environmental impact and how to determine return on investment, and 4, where to start.
So what is AI? To get great ideas about what problems we can solve with it, we need to briefly revisit what AI is and what it can and cannot do.
You may or may not be surprised to hear that AI as we know it now started as a concept back in the 1950s. It began with a question from Alan Turing's groundbreaking paper, Can Machines Think? Alan Turing was a UK visionary, a war hero, and widely considered the father of modern computing and artificial intelligence. He helped crack Nazi codes during World War II and died tragically in 1954 at age 41. He was posthumously honoured and since 2021 appears on the UK £50 note. His theory was simple but profound. If a machine could carry on a conversation indistinguishable from a human, we might reasonably say it could think. That idea became known as the Turing test. From there, the story of AI unfolded in waves. In the 1960s and 70s, we saw the rise of rule-based expert systems. Then came the AI winters, when funding dried up and progress stalled. In the 90s and 2000s, machine learning reignited interest with breakthroughs like IBM's Deep Blue beating chess champion Garry Kasparov. The 2010s brought deep learning and huge leaps in image and language processing. And now, in the 2020s, we've entered the era of generative and agentic AI, systems that not only create but also act. ChatGPT launched in 2022 and was the fastest tech adoption in history. And yes, AI has now passed the Turing test. So what actually is AI? Artificial intelligence is a broad term for any technology that does things we'd normally rely on human intelligence for, like spotting patterns, answering questions, or making decisions. Inside that, we have machine learning. Unlike traditional programs that follow set rules like A equals B plus C, machine learning analyzes large amounts of data to find its own patterns and make decisions, without needing to be explicitly told what to do. Then inside that is deep learning, a more advanced kind of machine learning that uses layered neural networks. This is the part of AI that reminds us of the human brain, or constellations of stars in the night sky, billions of connections lighting up together, the inspiration behind Southern Sky AI. And right at the centre is generative AI, the most explosive leap we've seen in recent years. It doesn't just recognise patterns, it creates. It writes, draws, builds, and composes. This is the type of AI you're using when you talk to ChatGPT. So what can AI actually do? You can think of AI's superpowers in 4 main buckets. Let's start with natural language processing, or NLP. To bring this to life, I've borrowed an analogy from the US game show, The Price is Right. In one game, a contestant drops a disc into the top of a plinko board and it bounces unpredictably through rows of pegs before landing in a prize slot. At first, it seems random, but over many drops, a natural pattern emerges. NLP works in a similar way. It breaks down language into tokens, units of meaning, and predicts the next one based on probability, context, and patterns it has seen before. Each decision point is like a peg on the board, and large language models, like the model underlying ChatGPT, don't just have a few pegs, they have billions of them, called parameters. The early GPT-4, for example, is trained on hundreds of billions of words, using more than 1 trillion parameters to understand and generate human-like language. The model navigates this vast breadth of data to find the most likely and meaningful response, mathematics on the grandest scale. The next is computer vision, AI's ability to understand and interpret images. One of the classic tests for these systems is the age-old question, is it a cat or is it a dog? On the surface it seems simple, but to a machine every image is just a grid of pixels made up of colour and light values. Just like language models predict the next word based on patterns in text, computer vision models learn to recognize patterns in pixels, shapes, edges, textures to determine what they're seeing. They're trained on millions of labelled images, learning what makes a cat or a dog, even when the photos vary in lighting, angle, or background. And over time, the model doesn't just spot animals. It can identify defects on a ship's hull, monitor safety gear, or scan containers for pests. The logic is the same as with language. With enough examples, the AI learns what to expect and where. Just now, it's doing it with vision. The third AI superpower is reinforcement learning and robotics. Unlike language or vision models that learn from large static datasets, reinforcement learning is dynamic. It's all about learning by doing. Here, an AI interacts with its environment, takes an action, and receives feedback in the form of a reward or penalty. Over time, it learns to optimize its decisions by repeating what works and avoiding what doesn't, very much like how we train a puppy. This is the core mechanism behind autonomous systems: self-driving cars, warehouse robots, and even AI in gaming. Powerful example comes from Boston Dynamics, the robotics company originally spun out of MIT, later owned by Google and now part of Hyundai. In this video, you'll see one of their robots learning to walk, crawl, jump, and run, not because it was pre-programmed to move that way, but because it learned through thousands of tiny mistakes and micro corrections. The fourth and newest AI superpower is Agentic AI, our emerging frontier. This isn't just about asking ChatGPT to summarize an email or write a recipe. Agentic AI can follow instructions, plan steps, and execute tasks autonomously, without human input at every stage. It's like having a digital teammate that doesn't just answer questions, but actually gets things done. So let's see where AI is and can be applied in businesses. AI is already being used in commercial maritime in incredible ways. In autonomous shipping, AI helps vessels sense their environment, making navigation decisions and optimize operations without direct human input. Lloyd's Register predicts fully autonomous commercial ships will enter fleets within the next 3 years, while still retaining some human oversight at the fleet or shore level. Real-time AI, computer vision, and data analytics are being used at the Port of Valencia, combined with autonomous drones and 5G networks to deliver continuous surveillance, detect risks, and support faster decision-making across the port. And since opening in 2022, Tuas Megaport in Singapore has become the world's most advanced, fully automated container terminal, mobilizing a fleet of more than 200 electric autonomous guided vehicles, managed by AI-based fleet orchestration and predictive analytics system. And by keeping people out of dangerous confined spaces, AI-powered robotic crawlers using computer vision and data analytics are being used to inspect ballast tanks and other high-risk areas, delivering more consistent and accurate inspections. In our superyacht industry, with all its unique subsectors, I see almost limitless opportunities, not just to automate tasks, but to rethink how we work all together. For example, if you're a captain or crew manager, AI could help streamline crew scheduling, cutting roster planning time and balancing hours of rest. If you're a charter broker, AI could help you generate personalized, even translated itineraries faster, helping you respond quicker and win more charters. If you're a crew agency, AI could assist with document verification, saving hours on credential checks and streamlining placements. If you're a marina manager, AI could support occupancy forecasting, helping you plan ahead, optimize space, and improve berth utilization. If you're a maritime lawyer, AI could support faster legal drafting, generating first drafts, clauses, and templates to accelerate turnaround times and free up capacity for complex work. If you're in refit or maintenance, AI could help forecast parts with long lead times earlier, keeping projects on track for on-time redelivery. If you provide remote medical support, AI could help manage onboard medicine stocks and monitor international controlled substance regulations and supplier availability. If you're a ship agent, AI could help automate port clearance documentation, cutting admin time and enabling you to handle more support without increasing your headcount. If you're a technical contractor, AI could assist in scanning notes from site visits, turning them into reports or invoices faster. If you're a yacht builder, AI could help detect conflicts between client requests and technical specs earlier, reducing redesigns and speeding up approvals. If you're a yacht insurance broker, AI could help you build stronger risk profiles to support negotiations with underwriters, helping you secure better premiums for your clients and build trust. If you're a yacht management company, AI could support ISM, ISPS, and MLC compliance, automating certificate tracking, highlighting expiries, and staying on top of regulatory changes. And if you're a yacht sales broker, AI could support faster vessel comparisons, cutting research time and helping you close deals more efficiently. The technology to create any of these solutions exists today. But if you're just getting started, the best advice is start narrow and start internally before moving externally. So next I want to show you a few custom high-value AI solutions that tackle common business problems. AI chatbots can be trained on or access your internal company data and support your team by handling company-specific questions, automating reports, and giving instant access to information. Then they can be extended to client service, providing 24/7 support and freeing your team from repetitive tasks. AI dashboards can start internally, pulling data from different systems into one real-time view, saving teams hours searching for information. They can then be used for client reporting, delivering clear, automated updates and cutting manual reporting time. AI document and process automation can first streamline internal tasks like document creation, data entry and approvals, cutting admin time and errors. Once refined, it can be extended to client-facing processes to accelerate contracts, proposals, and service delivery. Digital avatars or AI video tools can be created to deliver engaging reports, training material, or onboarding, translated with 99% accuracy on language translation.
在整个演示过程中，您会看到角色们通过我的声音变得栩栩如生。
Stel je de toepassingen voor in hyperpersonalisatie aan boord, in het bedrijfsleven of voor training over grenzen heen.
As we bring AI into our businesses, we need to do it in a way that reflects our values, using it securely, responsibly, and sustainably. In our industry, confidentiality is foundational. We handle ultra-high net worth clients, sensitive crew data, and commercially valuable business information. How we engage with AI, where data goes, and how it's stored are critical decisions. Fear of data risk often holds businesses back, but we can manage those risks and still take advantage of AI's value.
AI is already used in some of the world's most secure environments, including military and government. So let's take a look at a practical spectrum of ways to engage with AI while keeping privacy and data security in mind. From level 1, free tools like ChatGPT, to level 6, fully isolated top secret systems. For most of our needs, the green zone is where security, practicality, and cost meet. Buying AI tools gives you fast access to powerful capabilities, but it's important to understand the levels of control and data protection they offer. Level 1, free public tools like ChatGPT, should never be used for confidential data. They often train on your inputs, which can end up in public responses. Level 2, paid tools like ChatGPT Pro or Business, offer better data handling, but they're still public platforms best for low-risk use. Professional software as a service platforms are purpose-built with clear data policies and certifications, making them safer for business use. Ensure that you check the platform's user documentation to fully understand how your data is managed and whether or not the underlying tools train on your data. Level 3, enterprise AI tools inside your infrastructure offer stronger data control but may not currently match the performance of leading open source models. An example of this could be like using Microsoft Copilot inside your Word program. Building AI systems, whether in the cloud or on-premise, gives you greater control over how data is handled, alongside more flexibility to tailor solutions to your needs. Level 4, Private Cloud AI, uses platforms like AWS, giving you strong security without owning the infrastructure. Level 5, Fully On-Premise AI, runs on your own servers, keeping data entirely in-house but with high costs and complexity. And Level 6, Fully Air-Gapped AI, used for highly classified environments, would be wonderful to have, but it's overkill for most business needs and comes with extraordinary cost and complexity. When we look at cost and capability trade-offs, most superyacht businesses will find the sweet spot between Level 2.5 software as a service tools and Level 4 private AI cloud systems. These levels give you powerful AI while keeping data protected without the need for heavy infrastructure. For highly sensitive data, you can also use a sanitize, interact, and re-identify approach. Using this approach, you strip out sensitive details locally, use the AI model, then reinsert the data back inside your secure environment. This lets you safely access AI capabilities even for high-risk tasks, while keeping control of the most sensitive information. Because these models are trained on the entirety of human history, they are, by nature, shaped by our past. And our past, as we know, hasn't always been fair. History is often written by the winners, and it carries deep-rooted biases across gender, race, class, and geography, which means that AI systems, no matter how powerful, will inevitably carry forward some of those same biases unless we deliberately intervene. AI can't genuinely reason, and it lacks human empathy. We must regularly audit outputs, monitor for bias, and ensure that important decisions, especially those that affect people's lives, are made with human oversight. The principle of human in the loop is essential for transparency and accountability. For most businesses, you'll be using AI models, not building them. As users, you need to be mindful that you're always responsible for the outputs and what happens as a result of them. Given our industry's commitment to sustainability, it would be negligent not to raise the environmental impact of AI. AI's energy use is rising fast. By 2030, data centers could consume 4.5% of global electricity, the same as multiple nuclear plants. Big tech is acting. Microsoft, Google, and AWS have set aggressive targets: carbon negative, water positive, zero waste by 2030. Google is also taking steps to bring nuclear energy into the AI supply chain. At a business level, you can reduce impact by using smaller models for day-to-day tasks, right-sizing computing power and batching processes where possible. Keeping prompts focused and workflows efficient also cuts unnecessary compute and cost. Importantly, AI can drive sustainability too. It can help monitor, predict, and optimize operations, cutting resource use and emissions. Rossanavi's Seawolf X catamaran launched May last year is a great example where AI reduced fuel use and emissions across the vessel's life cycle. Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn and a leading voice in responsible AI, suggests that AI can be a powerful tool for enabling smarter, cleaner energy use globally. I see the current movement in AI being the driver that pushes our society into clean energy adoption, fueled by the movement of big tech. So where do we actually begin? With all this potential, it's easy to get overwhelmed and distracted by the tools. But real AI success doesn't start with technology. It starts with your business, your pain points, your domain expertise. Ask yourself, where are we losing time? Where are the bottlenecks? What's frustrating your team or clients? That's where the opportunity lies. Don't start with AI. Start with a problem worth solving. Refine it down to something specific, something measurable. Then ask, what would a better outcome look like? What kind of time or cost savings could we create? And how would we know if it's working? From there, begin internally on a narrow business problem. Aim to get the basics right, involve your team, test and iterate. Once that's solid, then you can scale outward. This is the recommended progression: crawl, walk, run. To determine the return on investment of an AI project, we first consider three core elements. First, the true cost of the role, including salary, benefits, and equipment, for example. Second, the annualized hours saved. And third, the opportunity value created by redeploying that time.
An example is a marine engineering contractor performing site visits and proposals. In the traditional process, the contractor spends 4 hours on site, plus travel, and about 7 hours preparing the proposal. The total is roughly 11 hours per opportunity. With an AI-enabled process, on-site work remains 4 hours, but the administrative and drafting tasks are reduced. Automated transcription captures notes instantly. Proposal generation is cut, saving around 3.5 hours per proposal.
In this example, the year one cost savings consider the average engineering rate, including overhead, at $80 per hour. At 3.5 hours saved per job, across 60 projects a year, the direct saving is $16,800 annually. After accounting for a $10,000 implementation cost, the first year ROI from efficiency alone is roughly 68%, plus the opportunity revenue gain. By reducing admin and proposal prep time, capacity increases from 60 to 90 projects per year, an additional 30 jobs. Assuming an average project value of $150,000 and a 15% margin, the added profit is approximately $675,000 per year. Combined with the time-saving benefit, the total annual gain is about $691,800. Relative to a $10,000 implementation, that equates to an annualized ROI of roughly 6,800%. Assuming steady demand and similar margins, the cumulative gain reaches nearly $3.46 million over 5 years, producing a 5-year ROI of around 34,000%. This excludes additional downstream benefits such as faster troubleshooting on site and reduced time spent on future jobs. You can see in this example how a small investment can unlock significant gains. If you picture just one process in your own business, one task that consistently drains time, and apply the same principle, the scale of impact becomes immediately tangible. So once you've defined your problem worth solving and metrics for success, the next step is actually a step backward so we can move forwards with confidence. Most of us, if we're honest, have been duct taping systems together just to keep up with technology and life. Over time, that leads to tech sprawl, messy processes, double handling, and workflows that make you want to cry. And if we plug in AI at this point, before we've cleaned house, what we'll get is amplified chaos. So when I say foundations, I don't just mean auditing your tech stack. I mean stepping back and looking at your business processes holistically. What tools are you using? Are they talking to each other? What's your single source of truth? Is it SharePoint, your CRM, your contracts or procurement system? What tools can be consolidated? What needs to go? Once you've clarified that, the next step is to turn to your workflows. Some of you may already have this documented, and that's great. Others might find it helpful to start small. Pick a common document, maybe a work order or invoice, and trace its journey. Who touches it? What tools are used? Where does it get stuck? This gives you a real picture of how work gets done and what needs to change. Because only once your workflows are clearly defined and proven to work, then it makes sense to add automation and AI. And if you find that a process needs to be reworked to align with your systems or your chosen source of truth, do that first. Test it, use it, get it working, then plug in the AI. Now that we've taken a step backward to shore up our foundations, now I'd like to take one more step backwards to ground zero. Recently, in conversation with my IT provider, he shared a case within a local company where an employee had accessed the full company's payroll data
and financial information simply by asking Copilot. They had not set up permissions correctly, which enabled the local tool to access folders that the employee should not have had access to.
Whether inside your system or by experimenting outside of it, employees are already using AI tools at 3 times the rate leaders think they are, according to McKinsey's 2025 report. And we all know that abstinence doesn't work. If we don't set up responsible access, people will find workarounds. So, ground zero is this: establishing an AI policy. A policy that clearly defines what tools are approved, sets user access based on need and role, includes rules around confidentiality and output review, ensures human oversight is always in place for critical decisions, and regularly audits usage and outcomes for bias, accuracy, and compliance. Once that foundation is in place, once your team understand what's allowed, what's safe, and what's expected, you're in a position to move forward. Technology doesn't lead change. People do. No matter how powerful the tool, it's your domain expertise and leadership that will determine whether AI delivers real value. We know that many teams are using AI behind the scenes, experimenting without formal guidance, and as we've seen, they're asking for support to use it well and to use it safely. This early momentum is being driven by millennial managers, those aged 35 to 44, who are some of the most confident adopters in the workforce today. If you want AI to succeed in your business, you need people who are willing to lean in. People who know your operations, see the pain points, and are ready to lead from the inside. Your role as a leader is to back them, set the tone, create the space, fostering a culture of confident experimentation, investing in practical training, encouraging experimentation, and celebrating early success. It also means setting the tone by engaging with AI yourself and showing your team that it's safe to explore, as well as shifting the narrative from AI replacing to AI augmenting human capabilities, freeing up time for higher value work. What is an AI transformation partner? An AI transformation partner brings clear leadership, governance, and coordination to how an organization uses AI. It begins with an AI opportunity audit to identify where automation and data can create the most value. From there, we guide the strategy, project design, and implementation that turn those opportunities into measurable outcomes. It's about helping leaders make informed decisions, manage change safely, and build capability across their teams. That's how we chart a confident course in the age of artificial intelligence. Thank you for watching Steering Deliberately into Disruption. If you found this field briefing helpful, you'll find links below the video to download the slides. You'll also see a link to connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like to stay in touch as I share more AI education for the superyacht and broader maritime industries. And if you're exploring AI strategy for your own business or organisation, there are also details on how to work with Southern Sky AI. Thank you for watching, and I hope this supports you in steering deliberately into this disruption.